Hello, awesome advocates. Thank you for taking the time to review this training before our Speak Up for Kids event. We are thrilled that you will be joining us. By making your voice heard, you are helping to ensure that all Colorado kids have access to stimulating experiences that let them discover, learn, and grow. This training covers how to prepare for a legislative visit, tips for both during and after the visit, followed by what advocacy and lobbying entails. We will conclude with a brief overview of the legislative process. Before we jump into preparation, we thought it was important to answer some questions you may have. The first question, is a visit with my legislator the same as a meeting with my legislator? No. Visits are informal. Legislators are busy, especially during the legislative session. A visit may be a simple introduction or walking and talking with your legislator from one building to another. Luckily, this training is geared toward helping you make the most of even the shortest visit. The second question, why go in person when you can call or email your representative? Well, this is about building a relationship. Building a relationship with your senator and representative is one of the most effective ways to influence the policymaking process. Through the visit, you are putting a face on the issues you care about. Okay, so before you actually visit your legislator, it is important to know who your representatives are, what committees they serve on, and what issues they care about. You should have your representatives' biographies, including committee information, in your Speak Up for Kids packet. If you don't know who your elected officials are, you can Google search "Who are my elected officials, Colorado," or you can visit the link on your screen and enter your zip code. Once you know who they are and what they are about, decide what you want to accomplish during your visit. Do you simply want to get to know your legislator? Are you providing background information on an issue you care about? Are you asking your legislator to support or oppose a specific bill? Do you have an idea for a bill that you'd like your legislator to consider? Once you've identified what you want to accomplish, you should decide what you want to say. Take some time now to think about it. Pause the video and write down 3 key points you would like to address during your visit. Got them? Great. Bring them with you. Here are some additional tips for your preparation. Business attire is recommended at the Capitol. Rehearse. It can be easy to get flustered and forget what you want to say once you're amidst the hustle and bustle of the Capitol. Create a 1-page fact sheet to leave with your representative. It is a great way to remind them what you've talked about and where you stand on the issues. Don't use jargon. Use straightforward language during your visit and in the fact sheet. If you're going in a group, it's really important to strategize. Before you head over to the Capitol with your group, take a few minutes to decide who will say what and identify one person to act as the point of contact for the group. Okay, that covers how to prepare before the visit. Now we want to pause and acknowledge that if this is the first time you're meeting with your legislator face-to-face, you may be nervous, and that's okay. But it is important to remember your voice matters, and your representatives want to hear from you. They're elected to represent you, and decisions about your child's health and well-being are too important to be left solely to others. Now, let's move on to the next phase, during the visit. First things first, introduce yourself as a constituent. Say who you are, where you're from, and name any relevant associations that you may have, such as board membership, community positions, or school affiliation. Then you want to state why you are there. This goes back to the primary purpose that you identified earlier. And once you've introduced yourself, you can go on to articulate your 3 key points. Don't be afraid to ask your representative for a commitment of some kind, whether it's a follow-up meeting to discuss your concerns further, or a commitment to vote for or against a specific bill. Then you can offer your support by asking her or him how you can help. Even if your legislator supports your issue, they may need help convincing their colleagues, and by offering your support, you are showing commitment to the issues you care about. This goes a long way in relationship building. Finally, be sure to thank your representative for their time. Before we move on, we have some general tips for building a relationship with your legislator. First, you want to address them using their title, representative or senator, especially during the introduction and at the end of the conversation when you thank them. Second, we encourage you to share a personal story that connects you to the issue you care about. Third, be polite. It may be tempting to attack your representative or use their voting record against them, but we encourage you not to. This visit is about relationship building and putting a face on the issues that you care about. Besides, it is much easier to find common ground when no one is put on the defensive. Lastly, be yourself. Your sincerity, honesty, and strong belief in what you're advocating for will come across loud and clear. And remember, your voice matters. Being an expert is not required. The most effective advocate is one who believes in what he or she is promoting. This brings us to the final phase of the visit, what to do afterwards. Well, we suggest sending a thank you card. This is an opportunity to reaffirm any commitment your legislator makes during the meeting. And good news, we'll provide a thank you card at Speak Up for Kids event. This brings us to our next point, to maintain contact with your legislator. Once you have met in person, you can follow up by writing letters, making phone calls, as well as arranging another time to meet your legislator. Be sure to share any additional information you promised during the visit, and continue to plan additional advocacy around your issues. If you are unsure where to begin, at Speak Up for Kids, we will provide a follow-up toolkit highlighting the next steps on your advocacy journey. And through your journey, don't forget, always leave your contact information and keep all written materials to 1 page or less. Okay, that's it for our legislative visit training. The next session briefly outlines the legislative process. Show of hands. Who remembers how a bill becomes a law? I'm just kidding. I can't see your hands. But let's be honest. Most of us don't remember the specifics about the process. So here's a quick review. First, a bill is introduced in either the House or the Senate. It gets assigned to a committee such as Education, and then the committee holds a public hearing where anyone, including you, can testify on the bill. The members vote to pass or postpone the bill. If it passes, it is heard for the second time in the chamber it started in. So if it started in the House, it will be heard in the House with any changes, often called amendments, from the committee. If the bill passes, it moves out of the House and is heard in the other chamber. In our example, the bill started in the House. So if the House approves the bill, it would then move to be reviewed by the Senate. It moves along the same process by being assigned to a committee, open to the public for testimony before it is voted on, and heard by the full Senate. Once the Senate hears the bill with any committee changes, it goes on to the governor, if it is approved, where he or she can either sign it into law or veto it. Whew, that was a lot. Here are some additional resources that you can use in your future advocacy. leg.colorado.gov is a government website where you can find out what bills are pending, view the committee hearings calendar, learn which legislators serve on which committees, and find the contact information for all legislators. Vote Smart helps you identify your elected officials at all levels. It also provides a short bio for each legislator. leg.state.co.us allows you to observe the state legislative proceedings. You can listen in on any committee hearings or debate on the House or Senate floor from your computer. Our next item for discussion is lobbying and advocacy. Does anyone know the difference between lobbying and advocacy? I'll give you a hint. It's on your screen. Lobbying is a type of advocacy. So what is advocacy? Well, advocacy is building awareness around a topic or an issue. This can be done in the community or among legislators. Advocacy is done through providing information on the topic, such as research or a personal story. The point of advocacy is to raise a concern about a social issue. An example is telling a legislator how funding source or program has affected you or your constituents, or providing a nonpartisan analysis, study, or research. Lobbying, on the other hand, is asking others to take a specific political action. For example, asking a politician to vote yes or no on an upcoming bill. Another example would be calling on constituents to contact their legislators in support of or against specific legislation. Before we conclude, here are some general tips for attending the Speak Up for Kids event and your day at the Capitol. Our agenda includes a lot of walking, so wear comfortable shoes and dress for the weather. If you need assistance getting from the event center and the Capitol, please call Angelique at 303-620-4533. Entrance to the Capitol includes a security screening, so leave any pocket knives, pepper spray, or any other little weapons you might have at home. Please be sure to review the materials mailed to you in your training packet prior to the event, as we will have limited time to cover the legislative process or advocacy tips at the event. Through events like Speak Up for Kids, Coloradans like you are using your voice to tell elected officials how they want early education and healthcare to work for our children. We appreciate your commitment to these issues and look forward to seeing you soon.